Hello, folks. We're back again with our third installment of the Lost episode series. This week, our guest was Tom Fontana, who, some of you know, probably none of you. Okay. This week, our guest was Tom Fontana, who created the show Oz on HBO, which was about a maximum security prison. He also worked on the legendary television series Homicide: Life on the Street. It's a really good interview. I don't know if you guys are going to care, but he's a really good guy. And I think you could tell this was recorded 2023. It's interesting because if you kind of match it with my arc if you've been following the series, this is when I decided to try and start being a good interviewer. And during the edit, we had to cut out me saying to some extent. So at some points, I said it every single question. And at some points, I would say it up to 3 times during a question, to some extent. I've become a better interviewer at this point, I think. He's a really good guy, really interesting conversation. I don't know if you guys are... Who fucking cares what you think, honestly? I'm growing with confidence every day. I am. You people have no idea how high I can fly. There's a story called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Kobe Bryant was between his rookie and second year in the NBA. He was lifting weights at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, California, or Marina Del Rey, California. I don't know why it's important that I remembered that. And because he said he had a boy's body, and he got a call, and he picked up his phone while he was at the gym, and the call said, "Kobe, it's Michael. I'd like you to come to Neverland." And he said, this must be some sort of joke. And he hung up, and then he got a call back shortly thereafter. He said, "Kobe, I'm not shitting you. It's actually Michael." And so he went out to Neverland Ranch and met fellow icon Michael Jackson. And he gave him a book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull, about a bird who wanted to fly higher than any other bird. And at some point, he would fly too high. I don't know. What's the story about? Can someone look that up? I've never actually read a book. Basically, Michael sat Kobe down, and he said, "Listen, I see you, and I know that you're like me. You're different. And I know that they will give you everything, and I know that they will take it away." And that is what society did to both those men. I'm gaining confidence every week. And much like that seagull, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, in this child's book that Michael Jackson gave Kobe Bryant, I will fly so high that it might kill me.
He flew faster. He wanted to fly faster and higher than any seagull before him. He was bored with squabbling over food. Jonathan is passionate about flight and pushes himself to learn everything he can.
And every other seagull made fun of him.
Every other seagull made fun of him.
This is going to be one of the funniest things that ever happens in American culture. A fool, a joke, a jester, a clown will become one of the most important public intellectuals of our time. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, Adam Friedland.
Talk about Oz a little bit.
I used to watch Oz with my family. When we'd watch Oz. On Sunday nights, we'd watch The Sopranos and then Oz. It was kind of the first prestige television series. It kind of did set everything in motion for how television changed. It preceded The Sopranos. Were not for Oz, there would be no Blackish. Next week, we conclude our series with the much anticipated Hassan Piker episode. So stay tuned for that. And then the rest is history. Strap in, guys. I think we all know someone who loves taking photos. But hundreds of pictures are just wasting away on their phone. Start putting them to good use with a unique and stylish digital picture frame from Aura Frames. Guys, over the holidays, I gave this to various elderly members of my family, and they flipped out. Guys, who is the most unprofessional photographer in your life that would love to display their pictures in this frame? Who's that, Caleb? Your mom. What is one memorable photo that was shared that you absolutely love? Guys, right now for a limited time, you could save on the perfect gift that keeps giving by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off the best-selling Carver matte frame. It's a phenomenal frame, guys. With the code TAFS, that's AURA frames.com, promo code TAFS. Support the show by mentioning us and check it out. Guys, terms and conditions may apply. So guys, that's $20 off. Use our code. Save on the gift that keeps giving. Exclusive $20 off Carver matte frames at auraframes.com. TAFS at checkout. Save. Our next guest is perhaps responsible for modern prestige television. I
thought you were going to say the end of civilization as we know it.
Our next guest is responsible for a majority of modern day slurs in the American vernacular. Everyone, please welcome writer, producer Tom Fontana. Normally we do a big walkout, but you were complaining that you're old and your knee
I am
hurts.
old. I would have tripped on the thing and the face in the rug. It would have been a great opening.
It would have been funny.
I know.
Yeah.
But
now
I'm a drama guy. I don't do funny.
You don't do comedy.
No.
There were funny parts of Oz.
There were. I actually thought it was the funniest show on television, but I was in the minority there.
I thought it was the sexiest show on television.
Ah, good.
No, but I actually used to. We had another guest,
Ernie.
I
saw that one. Yes.
Who was the warden of Oz, and I told him when he was on the. I don't know if it actually made the episode, but I told him I used to watch it with my parents, in succession with The Sopranos, and watching that amount of prison rape with my mother was quite an experience. I think it's kind of like made me into the person I am today, for better or for worse.
For better or for worse. Well, my sweet Sicilian American mother, I would call her every Sunday and she'd tell her what was going on. And I said, look, Ma, there's a show coming on that I did and you cannot watch it. Under no circumstances can you watch it. And she said, what are you talking about? Of course I'm going to watch it. You're my son and I love you. I'm going to watch your show. I go, nah, you don't really want to watch it. And she argued and we argued and then she won because she's the mother. And I said, okay, watch it, but under two conditions. One is we never speak of it. And number two, if a friend of yours says, is that your son Tom's show, deny me, okay? So 2 weeks go by, nothing on the thing. And then third Sunday, she says, can I ask you one question about Oz? And I go, Ma, we said we weren't going to talk about it. And she goes, just one question. I go, what? She goes, are any more of those nice boys going to die?
Yeah.
That's my mother. Was my mother.
I thought you were going to say that she converted to the Nation of Islam. It's funny. I had a similar experience. We used to do a podcast called Come Town.
Oh my God.
If you could, yeah. Oh my God is right. And for like 6 months, I didn't tell my parents about it. And then my dad saw on the internet that I was on a podcast called Come Town. We tried to choose. Nick chose what he thought was the worst, least appealing name for anything. And then we used to refer to ourselves as the Cum Boys. And then my dad called me furiously one day and he said, do you think a woman will ever marry a cum boy? And thus far, he has been proven correct.
Wow. But after the women in America see this interview,
yes,
your phone isn't going to stop ringing.
Oh my God, I've gotten pretty much every guest laid thus far.
Really?
Yeah. We're gonna be going to.
I gave my dick to the Smithsonian.
Did
so
you?
I don't have much.
Well, I was gonna ask you.
I could get it back, but
it's so funny. I was gonna ask you actually, but we brought up penises within 30 seconds of this interview. But you must have seen probably over 1,000 penises in the flesh in your life. Basically like a penis doctor's amount of penises.
I wouldn't say, and it's not like when actors came to audition, I made them drop their drawers and show me their penis. I sort of went on faith.
You did a casting couch.
No, I did not. I did nothing other than judge their acting and,
I understand the character that played Adebisi said that his audition was behind a hole where he put his member through it. But apparently he used to take his penis out a lot on set.
Well, what was great about Adewale was that if it was in the script that it said Adebisi takes out his penis, he would say, I don't understand why I take out my penis in this scene. And I'd be like, well, if you don't want to take out your penis, don't take out your penis. I'm not going to force you to take out your penis.
Yeah.
In the very next scene that we would shoot that day, he would just take out his penis. It wasn't scripted.
He would just improv taking his penis out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't do it in a scene where it was written. He would only do it in the scene after.
I've tried to do that, but we don't have we're not shooting in 8K right now, so it wouldn't really pick up. Strike that from the record. Strike that from the record, Adam. No, that's great. That's a nice prank. You can really only do that on on a production where it's pretty much all male.
Yes. There were no women on the set at that particular moment.
Yes.
But
You can, especially in this day and age.
yeah, though anyone who worked on it, we actually had sexual conversations with the cast and the crew, even though it wasn't required at the time, because it was so intense. We wanted to make sure everybody. I mean, I didn't want anybody to come on there and think, oh, what did I get myself into? So I was very serious about making sure that people felt comfortable.
Yeah.
What was remarkable to me is how many people felt comfortable taking out their penis.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's interesting about the show is it was kind of at the forefront of having male nudity in popular media and homosexual sex.
Well, we didn't just have homosexual sex. We
I thought
had
it-
all kinds of sex.
Well,
No, we
skipped.
didn't have bestiality.
Yeah.
Like if we had done another season,
You would have.
that's where I would have gone.
You would have had animal inmates, perhaps.
Yeah, I would have had like an anteater or something.
That guy would have been the belle of the ball, let me tell you. Nowadays, there's this conversation about representation, and like Homicide was had some launched careers of so many famous black actors.
We
out there.
actually had at one time had a more diverse cast. We had more people of color than we had white people as regulars on the show.
Yeah.
Because Barry Levinson, who's my business partner, and he comes from Baltimore, so he knows the territory. Our feeling was that the show, if we're going to shoot a show in Baltimore, it needed to represent the town.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just say, well, and look, there's all these white homicide detectives. It just felt dishonest. So.
Right. Do you think that Homicide could be made nowadays? Because I think the interesting thing about that show is that it wasn't like a car chase heavy program. It wasn't sexy. It wasn't violent. It was a procedural, and it was there was a lot of conversation happening on.
It was a sloppy procedural because we, unlike Law and Order, which was running simultaneous while we were on, we didn't solve all the murders, and we didn't actually do the law very well. We were more about the characters. That's what we really cared about. Was who are these men and women who face a dead body every day of their lives?
So I mean that kind of comes from your background, I think, probably because you came from the theater. So
Yes.
a lot of your stuff, from what I've been able to discern, I'm not a very intelligent person, but a lot of what you do is about the people. It's not necessarily about getting from point A to point B or twist endings or
plot has to come from character action, not from a writer's need to get to a story point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. There would be no Sopranos. There would be no fucking Entourage if it weren't for you. HBO was.
Wait, is that something I'm supposed to be proud of?
I think so. It's an amazing show. I've seen every episode.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if
Is
it's
that
amazing.
just wishful thinking on your part that you're going to have an entourage?
There would be no Sex in the City were it not for you. So many of the shittiest women in America have moved to New York City because of you. It's true. So
I think Sarah Jessica said that's her responsibility.
No. You were the first. You were literally the first narrative television program on HBO. I mean,
Yeah. But I don't. All I did was open the door for other creative people to do whatever shit they wanted to do. It's not like David Chase looked at Oz and went, "I'm going to do the New Jersey gangster version of Oz. He
Yeah.
made his own. He had a story to tell. He had characters he wanted to write about.
Okay, I'm hyping it up and I'm saying like what you created has, but it definitely has been emulated plenty of times. Like in terms of prestige narrative television, it is like one of the major artistic mediums today. And like Oz was kind of at the forefront of
Well,
that.
I appreciate you saying that, and all I'm saying is that what we did with Oz was just have an opportunity to break all the rules,
Yeah.
and we broke all the rules. So that all that said was to everyone else coming into HBO is you can break all the rules too.
So you, in the opening credits of Oz, you got the tattoo.
I did.
Can we
indeed.
see it?
Yes.
Let's see it. OZ. Okay, so that's interesting because I was under the impression that you tattooed DR in front of it during the recent Pennsylvania senatorial election.
No, but I will tell you something. I met Dr. Oz once, and he asked me to take a photograph with him. And well, not, me he didn't care so much about. My arm and he's like leaning in very goofily.
He's kind of like a schmuck, that guy. No?
I didn't get to spend much time with him, so I don't really.
Like-
I mean, he certainly came off as a schmuck, thank God,
He's like a
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting to me about viewing you as a playwright and then as someone that likes Oz is that I think that those two things are intrinsically linked in my mind. Right?
I totally agree with you.
Like Oz is like a play.
Yeah, I mean it's basically one very large set, and the Harold Perrineau character, Augustus Hill, is
the
basically
chorus.
a Greek chorus. Yeah.
The fact that it's one location, you have the flashback scenes. That it feels like a play because of that, but beyond that, it feels like a claustrophobic show, and to some extent, it mimics what incarceration is like for the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the intention, to only escape from it in very short bursts of the flashback, and then for Augustus Hill to be a kind of not an escape so much as just a breath between one horrific act and another horrific act.
How would did you have a Greek chorus in Homicide, or was it more like detectives just talking about a case?
Yeah, the thing is,
So-
the thing is, with cops, they have to drive to the crime scene and back from the crime
Yeah.
scene, so they have a lot of time to bullshit.
Right.
And that was easy. That was fun to write. With a prison, they don't really get that personal. You know what I mean? Amongst each other.
No,
because
it's all about people acting like bigging themselves up.
the
and,
more
posturing.
vulnerability you
Yeah.
have, the more in danger you are.
Correct.
So, so I had to find another way to sort of, show off.
I would be fucking eaten up on the inside.
I would be too.
No, you'd be all right. I mean, I would. What would I do? Join the fucking Aryan Brotherhood? What does a Jewish guy do on the inside?
Pray.
Pray? Why don't you tattle? Why people should tattle more? I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm getting raped every night, I'm just like I'm in a tattletale. Why is it? Oh, snitches get stitches. What's worse, getting raped in the ass? I'd rather get stitches.
But you could also get. Well, let's just hope that you never have to go.
Oh, call me a snitch. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, I'm a snitch. Or at least I'm not getting brutalized every night.
The thing is, you could snitch and it wouldn't necessarily change anything.
Oh, I'd snitch my way straight to the top.
Really?
I'd be vice warden by the end of it. So you're currently on strike. You were telling us you're picketing for the WGA.
I am.
So one of the major sticking points of the strike right now is the influence of AI technology.
Yes.
So we put into ChatGPT,
Oh no.
we put write a short synopsis of a sequel to the hit HBO television Oz. Takes place in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you might be shit out of luck. I don't know if you're gonna. I think you might be out of a job. You want me to read it to you?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, but there's some good stuff in here. There's a character, Jamal the Jester Jackson, who's a charismatic and street-smart inmate who becomes a focal point as he maneuvers through the complex power dynamics and various factions vying for control of Oswald State.
It sounds like your character.
You would have never been able to come up with Jamal the Jester Jackson. I mean, this is the computer taking our job.
This is true. This is very true, and I'm very proud of the fact I would have never come up with that.
Why? This is gold right here.
Yeah, Black Joker's got to be the best character.
Black Joker, yeah.
Black Joker.
That would be good. This is even the name. How could you have never come up with this? Oz Reckoning.
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Here's one. I asked them to write it as a comedy. Okay. Oz Hilarious Havoc. They like alliteration, the computer. It delivers belly laughs while celebrating the enduring bonds formed within the unlikeliest of environments. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Can you walk us through the musical episode? I think that's one of the best episodes of the entire series.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, what happened was Harold Perrineau, who was playing Augustus Hill, called me and said, before the season started, and said he'd been offered a part in Matrix 3, 2, I don't know which number.
Was he also in a wheelchair in Matrix, or am I wrong? I'm just confusing the two.
I have to admit, I never saw Matrix.
You didn't see it?
I was busy that week.
There's this guy Morpheus, and then there's this guy Neo, and he's the one.
The one what?
I don't know, just the one.
Oh, okay.
And then he's fighting the robot. Okay.
All right.
And the robots are ChatGPT.
So Harold says, I got offered this part, but it shoots in New Zealand or some godforsaken place.
I think they shot in Australia,
yeah. So he says, look, I can work it out that I can do a bunch of Oz episodes, and then I'll be gone, and then I can come back and do a bunch of Oz episodes. And I said, great, I'll work around it. Because my attitude about actors is, about anybody in our business is, if there's an opportunity, they should be given the opportunity. They shouldn't be stuck working for me when they could be in godforsaken New Zealand shooting Matrix 12.
Why godforsaken? I think there are good people down there.
No, I know. I've never been, and
no,
probably
they're
will
awful
never
people.
be.
You shouldn't go.
Really?
They're terrible. Yeah.
I mean, they were all
Australia. New Zealand is fine. Australia, you don't even get me started on those.
Yeah. Because they all were prisoners from England, right?
It's like Oz the country.
Yeah, Oz the country, which maybe that's our spin-off.
This is the spin-off.
See?
Jewish Oz the country, and it's called Israel, and they control a prison called Gaza.
Oh
yeah,
my
they're
God.
the one.
Oh my God.
Little spicy. Little spicy. Sorry. I forget that you work in Hollywood, so you're by de facto you've been bar mitzvahed. So
I yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
David Simon did your bar mitzvah.
Yes.
Okay. So continue. So he said that he wanted to work on it. So then how the musical idea come up?
So the episodes that he wasn't going to be around for, I had to figure out something to fill the box, as we called it. So I thought I'll do one that's a musical, because I had J.K. Simmons, who before he was the most evil human being on the planet, he was a Broadway musical star. I had actually seen him play Captain Hook in Peter Pan.
Wow.
And also he was in some other ones. Rita Moreno won an Oscar for West Side Story.
Yeah. Maria.
Evan Seinfeld was the leader of a band called Biohazard.
No. Oh, never mind. That would have been good if you cast Jerry.
Well, you know about the Saturday Night Live episode.
No.
Okay, so the year that after Seinfeld went off, he was going to host the first evening of Saturday Night Live of the new season. And he came up with this idea that because they ended the show in prison,
in the finale,
Seinfeld would be sent to Oz.
Yeah.
And they originally were going to do it with their guys playing. They were going to do a set with the Oz set, and they were going to do it with their guys playing the Oz characters. And Seinfeld said, no, I want to shoot it on the Oz set with the Oz actors.
Which was the Nabisco factory, correct?
Originally, yes. But you should look at this.
I gotta watch it. Was it funny?
Ye who has seen so many episodes of Oz. This is like the lost Jerry
What?
Seinfeld episode of Oz.
Well, can you imagine what the Nation of Islam would make of Kramer after what he said?
Yeah, but this was before that.
Oh, sorry.
So
Oops.
this was before that.
That was before that.
Yeah.
The joke is that they go to Oz, and that Kramer has a racist
Got it. I got it. now.
breakdown.
I got
at
it.
the
I'm-
open mic night
I
of
see.
Oswald Correctional Facility, and then he is shanked by the Nation of Islam.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that one of the AI generated ideas? Because
Yes,
that's
it
what
is.
it's sounding
In fact,
like.
it's,
yeah.
it just got a deal at Netflix.
Really?
That idea. Yeah.
Wow.
Racist Kramer Prison. I
Okay.
believe it's called.
Good.
I think just to like, if you'd like, we could talk a little bit about your later projects, and we can. I know we're in the middle of a strike right now, so
Yes.
we can't like be pitching any.
I can't
Yeah.
really do too much promotion other than to say that I've got a couple of things that will come.
That are on the way.
On the way, yes.
Do you have, as someone that's been an artist for 50 years, like half a century,
Mm-hmm.
do you what are your like lasting creative ambitions? Like what drives you like 5 decades into a career?
I would say as long as I can keep causing trouble
Uh-huh.
and telling stories as honestly as I can tell them, that's
If you finish a project, how does it feel? Do you hate like what
I hate it while I'm writing it.
right.
I hate it while I'm writing it. Once I'm done with the final mix and the episode is complete,
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched my old shows again.
I think that's a pretty consistent answer that a lot of people that have been working, as consistently as you have give. Like Woody Allen, for instance, I don't think he's ever watched After He Locks Picture. I don't think he watches.
Is that right?
I don't think he watches anything.
The fact that I'm now being compared to Woody Allen,
Well, you have a lot in common. You have a lot in common.
Not,
Both friends with Jeffrey Epstein. What?
I don't have a young wife.
Well,
I don't.
you have an old wife?
No, I'm a widower.
You're a widower.
Yes.
Hmm.
But you don't want to really talk about that. This is a comedy show.
I don't know. We don't know. We have moments of pathos.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been most of the guests. You're
It's-
the first
that's
guest
the
not
ones-
to cry.
Huh?
You're the first guest not to cry.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't fake
So.
it. So. If I was an actor,
No, I'm
I
just
would
kidding.
cry,
Would you?
but I can't fake it. So.
But you have acted. You're a tattoo actor.
I'm a main titles actor. Yes.
You're a main titles tattoo actor.
Yeah. I'm actually in the very last episode of Oz.
Are you? During
Yes.
the fire?
I am in a hazmat suit, and I walk up to the guard station and I turn off the lights.
Oh, kind of like in a sitcom where they like look back at the empty apartment, and then they turn off the light and then they lock the door.
Yes, like Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, kind of, that's- you
that's
did
what it was
that.
based on. Though if she'd have worn a hazmat suit, would have been much better.
I
Funnier.
think so too.
Would have been funnier.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So you gave Norman Lear his first job in show business? Is that correct?
I actually baptized him.
You did?
Yeah, it
I
didn't
thought
take,
he was one
though.
of us.
Yeah, that's what happened. It didn't take.
He's still alive too?
He is great. Norman is awe-inspiring, and I honestly hope he lives forever because as
Me
long
too.
as he's alive, I'm not the oldest guy in show business.
You can't be the oldest guy. Mel Brooks is still alive.
That's true.
I thought that I thought that after Carl Reiner went, I thought he'd go.
I know, because they were the great.
They'd hang out every single day.
Yeah, watching.
Like action movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the TV tray.
Eating deli, watching action movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that their favorite movies were movies where they say secure the perimeter. Those are good movies.
Do you know
I'm
that?
gonna do that with my boys.
Do you know that after Carl died, Mel Brooks he asked if he could still go to the house and watch TV, and until they sold
so
the house,
funny.
they finally sold the house.
That is so funny.
But he went over every night and watched TV, and
It was a good TV, maybe.
maybe better than the one he had.
Maybe better.
They
'cause
fakakta one
it's
he had.
Fakakta TVs. He has to go over there. There's no other TVs that he could buy. We are we are a terrible people, us. My father is just.
Are you going to cry? If you're going to talk about your father, are you going to cry?
My father's a widower too.
Oh, you see?
He's about to be here this week.
Nice.
I have to go to singles bars with him. We have to go on the prowl. You want to come with
I was
us?
going to try to do Jack Benny.
He's
but
well, you're 71.
Yes.
He's 71 as well.
You're kidding.
You're born 1951.
Yes.
Same as so is my dad. What's your birthday?
12th of September.
Oh, he's next week.
Ah. Well, he'll be older than me then, and I can't go out with people who are older than me.
What are you talking about? You guys are peer. You kind of look similar.
Really?
He's a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set him up with a guy. Do you want to fuck my dad?
You know.
No, you guys can be friends. Sorry that I want you to have a new friend. Sorry, you have enough friends because you're friends with what? David Simon and fucking Dick Wolf and whoever. Is he dead, Dick Wolf?
No, he's not dead. Oh my God.
My dad would love this if you guys went out together. You're like,
You just
my
don't
dad
want to
loved
go
watching
out with
us.
him. You just don't want to take
I'm
him
not
to
trying to
Singapore.
pawn him off. I'm not
Yes,
trying to
you
pawn
are.
him
I
off.
can
He
feel
dresses
it.
like you. No, the three of us would go out. We'd be kind of a little bit of.
Why are you yelling
a rat
at me?
pack. I don't know why I'm yelling at you. I'm a fan. All right.
Okay.
Any
Can
final
I leave
thoughts?
now?
Yeah, you can leave. You can go. Where are you going right now? To see a friend.
I'm going to go to see a friend of mine in the hospital. Because, listen.
Why do you have to kill the vibe every time I ask a nice question?
After this, going to the hospital will be more fun.
No, shut up.
I'm just saying.
You've enjoyed this thoroughly.
The best
I
hour
really-
and a half of
I
my
really
life.
put the screws. No, is it less than an hour?
I know, but it felt like an hour and a half.
Shut up. Tom Fontana, my best friend. My dad's best friend. We're gonna,
Do you actually add more applause? Because that sort of sounds pathetic.
No, that's
no. That's
like
the
three
charm
people.
of the show is that it's like, oh, go to the episode, Adam. We've tricked another guest into being berated by you. Thank you so much, man.
No, thank you.
You had fun?
Yeah, I did.
So this was better than Charlie Rose or a little worse?
Charlie Rose, Charlie Rose had a cold